Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Friday night, which means it's alcohol free night. And the beer we're going for is from Mash Gang. This one, it is Raspberry Ripper. And as I'm sure you can tell by looking at the can, it's a Raspberry Ripple ice cream beer. What kind of beer is it, he say? It's a sour beer. It's a non-alcoholic sour for people that don't do non-alcoholic sours, it says on the can. It's a fantastically textured can. There is definitely some texture going on here. Whether that's intentional or not, I don't know, but it kind of adds to the feel that it might be a waffle cone. Anyway, I'm waffling, and it says Raspberry Ripper is a Raspberry Ripple ice cream, tart sour beer, fresh, juicy raspberries, and a smooth, luxurious vanilla finish. We use an experimental process to amplify the flavour and the aroma of the beer, leading to increased thiols and esters. Simply put, more juice. And who's going to complain at that one? It's brewed in partnership with the Garden Brewery, who made some amazing beer and mash gang earlier in the year. And I have no doubt this one's going to be equally amazing. My wife has had her eyeballs on this can for quite some time since it's been in the fridge. Because she saw it and thought, oh, whose is the ice cream beer? I thought it was mine. You ain't having it. Because you won't like it because it's a sour. So, yeah, this one nearly didn't make its way down my throat. So, without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think, shall we? But one more look at that can. It's amazing. I love the can. It's great. Look at it. Awesome stuff. So, we are going to pour it into my Mash Gang glass, of course. I'm expecting this one to be great. Is it going to be pink, though? Let's find out. So, tub glass, pour. It is pink. Of course it's pink. Didn't do a good job of cleaning this glass, though. Jesus Christ. The DGM will be after me for that one. And rightfully so. I deserve it. There. That's your beer in a glass. It's a lovely colour. Look at that. Deep raspberry pink. There's a hint of... Well, there's lots of haze going on, actually. No real head to speak of, but it is a sour. And, yeah, I could smell the raspberries as I was pouring. So it's going for a whiff. That's big raspberry. Big, sweet, juicy raspberry. It smells just like ice cream. There is a sweetness. There is that creaminess. There is that tartness. There is that aroma that's just jammy. It is jammy, and it makes me want to go right in for a sip. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Cheers. Oh. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful raspberry flavours. And I know I'm commenting on the flavours. Normally I comment on the body and everything first. But the raspberry is the first thing that hits you. It's glorious. So the body is light to medium, as I would expect. Carbonation, it's there. It's not in your face in any way, shape or form. I was expecting more, I must admit, but it's not heavy on the carb. But those flavours, it's all about the raspberry. Huge on the raspberry. There's no two ways around it. If you love raspberries, you are going to love this beer. The sour level is low. And all the better for it, I think. There's just enough of a tartness there. It's like having slightly underripe raspberries, that little bit of a tang. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And this is going to sound weird, but then again, it might not. And it's going to divide people. There are people in this world who have jam on their toast. And there are people in this world like me who have butter, then jam on their toast. And that's what it reminds me of, that smooth, buttery, creamy goodness behind the sweet, slightly tangy raspberry. It's lovely. That's beautiful in its own right. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, that's glorious. There's no two ways around it. You're going to sit on the Imperial Guard on my map of joy. So yeah, tart sour beer, fresh juicy raspberries, and a smooth luxurious vanilla finish. Do I agree with that? Let's give it some on the points, shall we? So, I, as always, prepare my aide memoir from Untapped, and this beer was not registered on there. So it's got 0 check-ins, 0 score at the minute. So we're going to change it. We're going to give it the first score. So it's always a bit of pressure to do this one. And I'm always honest, as you know, because we go by the pillars of judgment: the looks, the aroma, the body, the taste, and the finish, and some possible bonuses if it's good enough. So we're going to give every section a score out of 1 and see what we think. So we're going to top off the beer to look at it again and see what we think. Does it look good in the glass? And the answer to that is yeah. Look at that. It looks like you got fruit juice. It's almost like a sunset colour. You've got a deep, rich, pinky red, and at the fringes you've got just a hint of gold, and I don't know why, but it's there. It looks lovely. Probably can't pick it up on camera. No, you can't. I'm looking at it. I've got a light there. It's coming through. There's a hint of golden on there. Beautiful looking beer. Beautiful, beautiful looking beer. It's having a point. Aroma. If you love raspberries, you're going to love it. If you don't, you won't. I love raspberries. There's lots of them. And the experimental procedures that they talk about on the can, or the experimental process to amplify flavour and aroma, it works. There's lots of aroma. It's big on the raspberry. I love it. It's having a full point. The body works for me. Sours tend to be on the lighter side with, in many cases, lots of carbonation. This one is lower on the carbonation, slightly heavier in the body, and all the better for it. I like it a lot. It's great. It's refreshing in the mouth. It's a good mouth feel. You've got a substantial drink in your mouth, is what I'm saying. Yeah, 7 point. And the taste on this one, it's all about the raspberry and the vanilla. Raspberry up front, big, sweet. It's like you've just taken a whole bunch of raspberries, pureed them and shoved them in your gob. And then followed it up with something vanilla-y. It's great. It's the promised flavours are right there in your mouth, and they're beautiful. The sourness, I like sour now. I was never a big fan at the beginning, but I do like a good sour. This one is tangy. It's not in your face, pull your ass up to your elbows sour. It's just enough of a tang to say, oh yeah, there's something going on. It's not enough to get the back of your jaw going, but again, it's all the better for it. It's subtle, and that's good for me. I like it. It works brilliantly with this flavour profile, and I'm giving it a point. And the finish. A sour isn't a beer that I really expect to have a finish of such, but when that raspberry fades and the vanilla sweetness is just sitting there coating your tongue, you want more. It's a moreish finish. It's sweet, it's juicy, and it's a little creamy, and it does, a bit like Ron Seal, everything it says on the tin. And I cannot think of a reason not to give it a full point. It ticks the boxes. It's having a point. So, Raspberry Ripper, off the bat, is getting a full 5 out of 5. Can it have some bonus points? Of course it can. We're going to start with the obvious. Value for money. I will say it again. Mash Gang beers are always value for money. Because they are, simply put. Buy it again. Yes. I think it's absolutely delicious. It's a perfect summery beer, even though the weather out there is pretty gopping today. The beer just exudes summer. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, absolutely buy it again. And I think it's probably not sour. It's not too sour. My wife would enjoy it. So yeah, I'm gonna get loads of it actually because it's beautiful. Bonus point. Now I can safely say I've had a few sours now, alcohol-free and otherwise. But of the alcohol-free ones, not many have been overly sour, but they have all been well executed. Excuse me, to a point. This one is exceptionally well executed. Sourness is just right. It complements the flavour without being in your face. That's what it's all about. It's about being sensible and doing it right. Anyone can put 10 ton of stuff in to make it as sour as they come, but it doesn't necessarily work with the flavour. I've had a few like that, and I don't like them, but this one I absolutely adore, hugely adore. Let's be honest, there's no two ways around it. It's got all the points. So yeah, I'm genuinely going to be sad that when I finish this one, because it's beautiful. Beautiful stuff throughout, starting on the can and then going all the way through the contents. So, before I sound even more like a fanboy of this beer, we're going to leave it there and say that has been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.